this morning.
Can you, there's two pieces of paper that look like this. One is folded. One is folded and one is not folded. Does everyone find these? So these are the forms that we're going to use to track our results. So why is this important? Well, we've been doing a lot of work on vision. Yes?
I don't have a kit.
Okay, we'll let you handle it. It's okay. We'll get it.
Who needs one?
So we've done a lot of work on vision. Well, there's two parts to being successful at this. One is you got to have a vision. You got to have an emotionally compelling reason for what you're doing, right? And have we heard emotionally compelling reasons for being in action so far? Yeah, we really have. The other part of this, though, is what's going on right now? What's the actual truth of my current situation? And there's a tendency to think about these two things as being poles. Well, I'm a vision person, I'm a data person, right? So I focus on that, I focus on this. To create results, to create creative results, we've got to hold both things. So think about it. If you've got the vision, but you're totally ungrounded in what's going on right now, what's that condition? What's that look like?
Chaos.
Chaos? It's living in a fantasy world, right? And I think in my own experience, much of what I have done in Life Force is empowering people's delusions. Because we've given them the vision, but we haven't given them a relationship to what's actually true right now, right? Now what happens the other way? What if you're totally grounded in what's going on right now, but you don't have a vision? What's that look like?
Dismal stuff.
It's boring, right? It's tedious. You're stuck. It's uninspiring. Holding both those things, holding a vision and holding being very grounded in what's actually happening, or in other words, the data, is uncomfortable. And it's that discomfort that drives results and that drives creativity. So part of what we're going to be working on is discovering your relationship to that tension between here's where I want to be and here's what I've got. And what's the tendency? The tendency, when that tension comes up, I'm feeling this discomfort. Wow, I want to be here, but in fact I'm here.
Run.
The natural tendency is to make one of those things go away. Right, the vision wasn't realistic, I'm going to give up on it, that was never a real thing anyway. Or to live in some delusional world about what you're actually doing. How many times have I heard people say, oh, I got 7 yeses today. And then I noticed there was 1 order. So probably they had 7 conversations that they're, you know what I'm saying, right? So we're going to ask for your help in managing the data, and there's 2 reasons that we're doing this. One is on a personal level. This is a skill that we all need to develop, is being able to be skillful at both things and live with, be motivated by the tension that exists naturally between having a vision and having a grounded sense of where you're at. But there's another piece to that too. And it goes to the brilliance of what David and Michael are doing here. So we all know David, we got a world-class trainer here who's been there, done that at the highest levels of network marketing. Michael Jude has, in my 10 years in, has been working to bring the best leadership practices to us at every single major event, as far as I know, that's happened in the last decade. Right? I mean, think about that. Without fail, he's been here in that role. So these guys are brilliant. Anyone have the sense that they know the path and that they're competent to lead us down, right? Well, here's what's particularly brilliant about them in this and unique. So they're saying, here's the path, but then I'm asking the question, Michael, do I wear sneakers or hiking boots? Now, in the past, we've had leaders who wanted to say, well, you got to wear an Adidas, and it's got to be red, and it's got to have a white stripe down the side, and if you don't do that, you're out. What these guys are saying is, I don't know, what works best for you? You prefer sneakers or hiking boots? And by the way, if you're wearing sneakers, will you get back to us and let us know how it was going down the path in sneakers? Right? So part of the reason we're collecting the data is also so we can learn collectively. So we can take this group experience and capture it, and it's the data that will do that, and improve as a result of our group experience. That's not going to happen with us sharing anecdotal stories. We actually have to have hard information to be able to do that. So let's look at the form. So the one that's folded, you'll see up in the upper left-hand corner, it says face-to-face outreach. So this is the form to use if you're out on the street talking to people face-to-face. Now you notice right after it says face-to-face outreach, everyone see that? There's a bunch of boxes, little boxes. Put a check mark in a box if you get a no. A no, yeah, because we're just going to track how many no's we got. Yes. So I was going to write no up there to label it, but I just didn't like the idea of having the word no at the top of the form. Right, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome.
So, but anytime you reach out to someone face to face, you get a no, put a little check there. If they say yes, and you're successfully sampling them, then you'll see there's 5 slots here for collecting that information. And what's here is the critical information you need to collect from each person. So you'll see date, name, phone, email, the appointment or event that they're going to attend, right? So in this case, you may schedule a phone appointment for the next day. You may just go ahead and schedule them right into one of our events. That could be the appointment, come to an event. Then you'll notice also it says number of samples, and there's a little space for notes. All right, that's it. So you can collect data for 5 samples on one of these cards. If you look on the other page, on the other half, this is for follow-up. All right, so you'll see there the follow-up date. Info sources is where did they go? So if they went to Lifestar Pro, if you use some other tool to educate them, then write that down, because that's important information for us to know is what tools are working the best and giving the best results. And then impressions is what did they say when you asked them, right? What was your impression of what you looked at? Then jot some notes there. Then you'll see when ordered, what they ordered. That's important. Just note, they ordered a business builder kit. They ordered 4-pack, whatever. There's a compromise here between not taking up a lot of space, so you don't have too much paper, but also giving you enough room to collect the information you want. So you'll see there's A, B, C, D, E on there. So if you need more room, just use the blank on the back and put a little check mark there, and then start your notes with A on the back side. The reason I put that little box is I've used this system in the past and I forget that I had notes on the other side. So that's what the little check box is for. It reminds me, oh, look on the other side, I've got some notes over there when I do my follow-up. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay, good. So then there's another form for phone follow-up, which works exactly the same. It's just that if you're doing phone, probably you're going to need their physical address if you're sampling them, right? So you'll see that field is added there. And also, a lot of the calls are going to be to people who were LifeForce customers who've been out. So you'll see there's also a check mark box there for past LifeForce customer. That would be good information for us to know if you're calling a past LifeForce customer, so we can see what the success rate is on those folks versus folks who don't know anything about LifeForce. So you see that little check box? Everyone got that? Okay, and then the follow-up side is exactly the same. All right? So just another note, the reason that this is folded and printed on cardstock, you're going to get these on cardstock, is so that if you're trying to just be minimalist in what you're carrying around with you, folded, this is going to be stiff enough that you can just write on it just like this. So you don't need a book or anything else to handle it, you can just get it right on there. In addition, final thing on data collection is there is going to be another form that's gonna break down what's going on in more detail. And you'll fill those out as part of your small group meetings, and that's gonna give us a little finer cut on what's working, what's not working, both in the big picture in improving this, but also on the fly. That's gonna allow you in your small group to identify of 15 key competencies, who in your group is best at what, who needs help at other elements. So filling that out is going to allow you as a group to hone your support for each other and identify who the best resources in your group are for that support. Okay? Thank you.